Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator for technology startups in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. And in support of that mission, we do these free mentoring roundtables week after week after week. We started back in 2008, so it's been a very long time that we've been doing this. This is the 676th roundtable, and this is the first roundtable since the time change, the daylight savings time change that happened this weekend. So there is, I think, some misunderstanding in the registrants about what time they're supposed to be here. In India in particular, we do get a lot of registrants from India. The US people should be fine. So I am going to start today in the reverse order. Normally we do the pitches first and then the open Q&A. Today we're going to do the open Q&A first, and then we'll do the pitches, depending on who shows up when. So I'm going to start with you, Udit. You can unmute your line and talk to me. I understand that you wanted to pitch first. You sent in your slides and then you decided that you didn't want to be in the recording. So if you don't want to be in the public recording, you would need to join the premium program to be able to work with me. So
Okay.
tell me what your situation is and let me see if I can help you without
Okay.
listening to your pitch in the public session.
No, it's okay. Like, I just want a high level overview regarding the technological assets that we have built. And it was like my request, since it's not that of like, right now our what we can call it as priority to, roll this out publicly. However, if this is like the methodology of your particular, round table, then I do need to acknowledge that. And it's okay if you can, if you're publishing it online, it's okay. I need to acknowledge the methodology in which your roundtable is working.
Yes.
So I do acknowledge that. Yeah.
So now, one thing I will tell you, just listening to you very cursorily, you haven't said much. If you are building something, be sure to build it first by doing customer validation. Just like you refer to the methodology, the 1 million by 1 million methodology is very particular about do not write a line of code until you've done some level of validation. If you haven't done validation, please do not write a lot of code, because the chances are that you're going to be discarding that code if you do not have a validated business. So just keep that in mind and make sure that you have a good idea of what market you're going after, what that market wants before you start building something.
Hmm.
Okay? Now, I know there are other people in the room who are not scheduled to pitch, but I will take questions from public chat, or if you want to talk to me, please just let us know in public chat and Maureen will put you in the panel and you can talk through your computer. Now, there are a couple of things I want to share with you about the pitches that happen here. Remember, this is a safe working session. The recordings are published publicly because this is a public roundtable. But it's very much focused on your needs, your issues, your roadblocks, and our collective efforts to remove those roadblocks and helping you accelerate your journey. That is the whole point of these entrepreneur pitch sessions. And if you disagree with my feedback, that's up to you. It's your venture at the end of the day. So Udit, you could easily tell me that you shut up. I don't care what you think.
No,
I'm
no,
going to
it's
write as much code as I want, and I don't care what you think. That is your prerogative, because it is your venture and you will do exactly what you want to do. It's my job to tell you what I have learned by doing this for a very long time. But what you do with that feedback is entirely up to you. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about in terms of trends. So one of the things we do in the 1M program is also bring you abreast with trends. One trend that we are covering on the blog right now is ultralight startups. I have always liked ultralight startups. So if you look at the 1M program, we have always been very supportive of ultralight startups, capital efficient startups, solo entrepreneurs, and so on and so forth. Now that trend with AI is turbocharging, and you will see on the website, you will see on the blog, you will see coverage of two companies that I've done recently within the last week. One of them is Telegram. You may have heard about this social network called Telegram. It's very popular in Europe. Um, this company has 30 employees and is valued at $30 billion right now. So they've grown very well with a very, very lean team. Another company that we just covered a few days ago is called MidJourney. You may be users of MidJourney. This is an AI image generation tool or content generation tool. And MidJourney has 11 employees, and they in 2024 they hit $200 million ARR, annual recurring revenue, which is, these are unheard of uh, benchmarks, metrics. These are amazing levels of scaling that are happening with amazingly small number of people. I remember very, very long ago, I did a story on a company that had 3 employees and was doing $5 million a year. And, that's, it already sounded very impressive to me. And this must have been 15 years ago. And now you're seeing 11 employee company doing 200 million ARR. These are amazing, amazing numbers. So definitely
So,
look it up. And
Shraman, I had like one particular question. Since you have seen this type of companies,
yeah,
there was one graph which was saying that time to reach this much revenue figure, say 100 million or 10 million, and now that graph is reducing a lot with lesser number of employees,
enormously, it's reducing enormously. The pace at
enormously.
which companies are scaling, in lean companies are scaling, is amazing. Yes.
Now AI, generative AI, these are the major sort of sectors or the technologies which are propagating this. I want to understand one thing, like say in the go to market there are 12 to 13 different channels that this technology companies use. Based on your inputs and working or understanding all these companies that have received magnanimous ARR in very short amount of time, which are those 3 or 4 channels which you find that have worked out for them, and there has been a common pattern across this type of companies in the last 5 6 years?
It depends. It depends heavily. So one trend I see a lot is open source, commercial open source. So there are a lot of companies that have scaled very well by putting stuff on open source platforms, and that is a tremendously effective lead generation mechanism. So people start using your software for free, and then they pay for premium features, functionality, or support. And those kinds of companies tend to grow very, very fast, often, because
Okay.
lead generation happens in a very organic, very natural way.
Okay.
Now,
So I
of
was seeing
course,
this company Cursor
yeah,
recently. Cursor is like AI software developer. It provides you the entire spectrum of all the technologies from cloud shell to hosting to front end back end, and it
mhm,
is like your code generator or like
generator, yeah.
AI code
AI
generator.
code
So
generator
they
is
have,
doing
yeah, so
very well.
they have done phenomenally good, and I think they are like having tremendous amount of revenue in a short amount of
Yes.
time. So I was just trying to figure out, like I saw all these companies, 6 7 companies, which were like AI assistants or like having like similar value prop across different domains. And I was just inquisitive to learn what is the GTM, what is like what how they are figuring out the GTM, how they are going in the market once they have created the product or even the MVP, how they are like
So you have to
maximizing that.
study them case by case. You have to study
Mm-hmm.
them case by case. But what I just told you is one of the mechanisms. Other channels, the social media channels are doing really well as well.
Okay.
So, you know, virality is an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
And the companies that go that fast, grow
Mm-hmm.
that fast, tend
Mm-hmm.
to have virality. And
Okay.
that virality is achieved by very largely through word of mouth and organic growth. So
Mm-hmm.
people are talking to one another. So
Mm-hmm.
developers are hanging out in these social media groups, different kinds of social, they have places where they hang out. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of developers hang out on Reddit, for instance. So these mechanisms like Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook, the open source communities and various online discussion groups that are specific to certain types of technologies or certain types of areas. These are the carriers of those viruses. This is where the water cooler happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
LinkedIn is a tremendous water cooler
Mm-hmm.
that can generate enormous amount of discussion in the right audiences. And then, if a developer posts something and is connected to 1,000 other developers who are interested in the same topic, word word of mouth circulates really quickly. So this, in this kind of in the these kinds of tools, and especially software developer tools, this is happening a lot. The MidJourney case is a bit different because it's a media generation tool, right? It's
Yes, yes.
generating images, generating videos, etc.
Yes.
But that same kind of virality has happened in the case of MidJourney. The word of mouth is enormous. And again, the creative types are also hanging out in their own different communities um, and on LinkedIn and on various places where such people hang out. So you need to, depending on what is your technology, what is the product that you are trying to market, you need to find where your audience hangs out and where is the virtual water cooler where these conversations take place. And then you're going to need to, make conversation happen in those water coolers.
Okay. Okay. Like
Okay.
even with the Slack, we saw phenomenal growth.
Slack is
Slack.
big. Yeah, Slack is very big. Yeah. The Slack also has something else. Slack grew really fast. It was one of the fastest growing companies ever. Slack had something else. Besides water cooler, Slack as a product was a viral product.
It,
Like
it inherently had that features.
inherently, because to use Slack, you have to invite other people to use
Or
Slack, right? LinkedIn had the same phenomenon. To use LinkedIn, you have to bring other people into LinkedIn. You have to invite your network into LinkedIn. So it had built-in virality. The the tools like Hotmail, or the original email tool. Hotmail was one of the original email softwares, cloud, basically hosted email. And that had the same phenomenon, is that emails sent by Hotmail, and everybody started setting up Hotmail accounts and started using that. So if you're there are two ways to achieve virality. One way to achieve virality is through what I talked about first, is kind of generating and facilitating word of mouth, and
okay.
the virtual, activating the virtual water cooler. And then the other way is through the product-led virality, and that not all products have product-led virality. The developer tools do not have product-led virality per se, but Slack is a social media tool. It does have product-led virality. LinkedIn had product-led virality. Hotmail had product-led virality, and there
Slack.
have been Dropbox, Slack have product-led viralities. Yes.
So now there are some products that are only one way. Like say if we see LinkedIn, there are multiple nodes, like at the same time, one person is connected with many other people. So the higher the number of nodes, easier it gets to, go viral.
Yes.
However, there are then other products that don't have nodes. There are just one way.
That's right.
say for example perplexity, right? Like I am just doing my particular search alone. I
Yes,
don't need people there. So and there are multiple such other use cases where that's one node.
right.
In that scenario, what strategies do they use? Because like considering just one node and single person use case, like the way they are using the product, what we call it as, how they are applying their product for their particular say requirement, it's just one person at a time who is using it, and
Yeah.
won't be sharing it across. So
But
what
those
startups
also
do?
have those kinds of, so this is perplexity falls within the search category and AI tools category, right? So there are water coolers, there are virtual water coolers around
Virtual water coolers.
topic, right? There are working groups, there are, online groups where such newsletters, where such discussions happen, such products are covered. So those are places where, like, I have a cloud stocks newsletter on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has this newsletter product and some people write newsletters, and so if you sometimes these newsletters have lots of followers. Like we have a best of bootstrapping newsletter that has 110, 120,000 followers. So, so if you're trying to reach bootstrap founders as your target audience, this is a newsletter that it's beneficial to be featured on. So, so there is, there's social media PR, there's grassroots marketing, there's guerrilla marketing, there's all kinds of go-to-market strategies. That influencer marketing is a big one. When somebody with a big mouthpiece talks about the product, you get, like I have 440,000 followers on LinkedIn. So there are, you want people who have large followings to talk about your product, and that's how people get to know about it. You want social proof also. If people who are credible talk about your stuff, then you get value out of that. Um,
Okay, so virtual water coolers and product-led virality were the two major
those are the
takeaways.
two nuggets that you should keep in mind. Virtual water coolers is a very important concept to keep in mind. Anybody else in the room, if you would like to talk, just like Udit and I are talking. Udit was supposed to pitch today and he decided not to pitch because he doesn't want his pitch in the recording. But if you want to chat, you're welcome to let us know, and Maureen will put you on the panel and you can ask questions. Anybody? Okay, so while you're thinking about your questions, I want to talk about another trend which we are covering actually on both the blog as well as some of these roundtable discussions. Recently, we had a roundtable discussion with Raju Reddy, an investor, and that conversation was, you could look up that conversation on this topic of AI enabled services. So AI services is a category that is doing really well, and we're going to see a lot of very interesting, powerful companies emerge out of that. Palantir is a very highly valued company in this category. And if you look at a company called Machinify that just went through a significant merger. It's kind of a roll-up situation. Three companies in AI services merged, and they collectively are still called Machinify. Machinify is one of the three. Maureen, Swaminathan is trying to ask questions by unmuting. He cannot unmute. Could you please put him on the panel? So let me finish my line of thought, and Swami, I will come to you in just a moment.
Sure.
So this company, Machinify, the three companies together are now at $500 million ARR. It is an AI services companies focused on health insurance industry. So this is another good example of a company that is going to be immensely highly valued. 500 million ARR, if you look at a 10x valuation, that's already a $5 billion valuation. So there are companies in this category that are developing and this is going to be a very interesting category. We just did a story on a company called Cognita in this category. And I have just done the story. We haven't published it yet, I think, Critical River. I just recorded the story a couple of days ago. Keep an eye out for that. That's another great example of this phenomenon. So you will see more of this AI services category developing, and it's a very interesting way to build companies in the AI era. Swami, why don't you go ahead and ask your
Yeah,
question?
hi, Shramana. Interesting discussion. One question I had, I co-founded a company in January in Luzon in Switzerland, and
Uh-huh.
it's Growth Lens, and we cater to the B2B segment, the OEM segment,
Yeah.
respect to the software for the industrials, basically. So my
Yeah.
question is more about, you talked about the product-led virality, and you gave examples of B2C largely, but
No, 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 no.
okay,
The,
okay.
the coding companies, the coding enablers are not B2B, right? B2C only. There, a lot of them are B2B.
Okay.
They're B2B and B2C.
Okay. So how do you really create a product-led virality in typically the B2B and the equipment supplier business? Do you have any examples around that in any
No,
industry?
that is not a product-led virality
Okay.
category. OEM deals have to be negotiated. You cannot
Okay.
become an OEM in a viral mode. OEM deals have to be negotiated. So you
Okay.
have this,
Okay.
there is no way to achieve product-led
Got
virality.
it. Okay.
Or you could perhaps achieve water cooler, digital water cooler, virtual water cooler
Mm-hmm.
in the segments, the segments where you want to achieve OEM deals. If
Mm-hmm.
they have, you should look for online groups where those people from those companies hang out,
Yeah.
and you could start conversations there and
Mm-hmm.
create digital water cooler phenomenons, but not product-led
Okay.
virality.
Got it. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
welcome. Where are you? Are you in Lausanne, Swami?
No, I'm in the US. I'm in Maryland,
Okay.
and my other co-founder is in Luzon, Switzerland.
Okay.
So yeah.
And Udit, where are you joining from?
I'm joining from India,
Where in India?
Gujarat, Vadodara.
Oh, okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. Other questions? While you're thinking of your other questions, I'm going to actually explain to you how to use 1 million by 1 million. I think we have either time related issues, I think time related misunderstandings. The time change has not percolated into the presenters, it seems, in the international markets. So I'm going to explain to you how to use 1 million by 1 million. Everything is at 1Mby1M.com, and it is completely virtual. So you can use the project, use the program from anywhere in the world. 1M Premium is our full acceleration program. So if you're looking for help with strategy, go-to-market, positioning is where we see a tremendous amount of gap in entrepreneurs, and that hinders your product market fit. Positioning is a complex topic, but you do need to learn positioning, and this is where we do a tremendous amount of work with our entrepreneur portfolio companies. So we do strategy consulting, mentoring, coaching, whatever you call it. It's very, very strategic. We work with many hundreds of investors. So investor introductions is part of the program. We have a very powerful curriculum that is entirely case study based. Thousands of case studies have powered this curriculum, and the curriculum has been in the market since 2010. So a lot of entrepreneurs have learned a lot through this curriculum. And then I was talking about influencer marketing as well earlier. So we do offer a certain amount of influencer marketing through the program because of my influence, especially on LinkedIn. 1M Basic is our curriculum only program. So if you are looking to learn while you are, just at the very beginning of your process, some people have not even come up with a startup idea yet. Maybe some people are bootstrapping with a paycheck. It's a very acceptable way to get started is by studying the 1M basic methodology for starting companies and putting one foot before the other. And that's very highly recommended. Do not quit your job without getting some understanding of what starting a company is all about. So go to the website, look at what to expect from premium, what to expect from basic. We do get requests for one-on-one consulting, and it's available. It is more expensive, but you are welcome to use it. In March, we have 2 more roundtables, March 20th and March 27th. And then in April, we have roundtables every week, every Thursday. The time has changed, so please be aware that the time has changed. The people who were supposed to pitch today, if they have been caught in this time change issue, we're going to try to get them scheduled next week. But unfortunately, the roundtables tend to fill up. So we'll do our best to make sure that we can accommodate you. If you have questions about the program after today's session, you can contact Irina Patterson, Irina at 1Mby1M.com, and she will talk to you about the program. If you have questions, you can ask her. She also would be happy to get on WhatsApp or Skype or whatever with you. Okay, any other questions?
Shramana, I wanted to understand one thing. Like, say, when founders are out there raising funds
Yeah.
and they are connecting with, like, say, different pre-seed VCs or angel syndicates and everyone, now they do have in their mind that this is the amount that I want to raise and this is the like valuation. Like, say, they want to dilute 15% and they want to raise 300K, right? Like, just a figure for our use case. Now, say one angel syndicate is investing at in the form of equity, other pre-seed VCs coming in the form of safe notes. Okay, and both of them are aligning in terms of the sector and stage. However, they have the different formats of coming in the round. Like, one is very much aligned with equity only, the other is only doing safe.
Yeah.
In this scenario, how should founder approach the fundraise, and how he should get all both of them to
You can't get both of them in the same round. If they're on different formats of term sheets, you cannot get them in the same round. You have to choose one or the other.
Okay, so first the founder would typically choose safe note, and then he would go on with
In pre-seed, when you don't have anything really in terms of revenue, in terms of MRR, ARR, people tend to invest in safe. That's because it's hard to price the round, the dilution is too much. So people tend to invest in safe with a valuation cap, and that converts, the safe converts into equity
equity.
when
Yeah.
you raise an equity round.
So it is like subjective to how the terms are for the different angel syndicates and VCs, and that's how the founder should sequence.
You have no choice. Founder doesn't set the valuation, the investor
No, no,
sets.
not about valuation. I'm just saying terms, like the form of investment. Like, one is saying that we just do equity, other is saying we just do safe notes, and
Yeah, you then don't get to dictate. Investors decide how they want to invest.
okay,
What
no, they.
format they will invest in, what valuation they would put on your company, what kind of valuation cap, if it's a safe note, all of that is dependent on the investor.
Okay.
It is also dependent on if you have competition for your deal, right? So let's say you're a highly sought after deal, and 10 investors are bidding to be in your company, to invest in your company. There may be competition, and there may be oversubscribing, there may be valuation may go up to accommodate everybody, etc., etc. Then you create a bidding situation. It doesn't happen that often in the absolute, like in a Facebook or a Uber. There were such bidding wars going on, but amongst the VCs, but it doesn't happen that often. Most pre-seed companies are struggling to raise money. So you have to work with what you get, and it is mostly the investors who set the terms.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right. I'm going to wrap up for today. unfortunately, we had this time zone issue, so we didn't get to do the pitches today. We had several slide decks people sent in, but they didn't show up at the right time. So unfortunately, people are not caught up with the American time change. Anyway, I will see you next time. And I think by that time, by next week, people are going to adjust. This is just 4 days into the time change. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Have a good day.
A good one.